I built a $500 gaming PC in 2026, and here's how. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tech Bowl. Today, we're diving into a full $500 gaming PC build using all brand new parts. That's right, a complete system that's ready to game without breaking the bank. Now, for $500, we're not expecting miracles, but this PC is packing 6-core CPU, a dedicated graphics card, and high-quality parts designed to last for years. While it may not quite match the raw performance of a PS5 or Xbox Series X, at this price, remember, this is a PC, and that opens up a whole new world of possibilities beyond just gaming. You can stream, create content, or even dabble in some light video editing. This system can handle pretty much any game at 1080p, and even a good number at 1440p. And while there are some compromises with a tight budget, I think the balance we've struck here is really impressive for $500. So let's break it down, step by step, starting with the heart of the system, the CPU. CPU choice and installation. At this price point, we have a couple of strong options. The Intel Core i3-12100F or the AMD Ryzen 5 5500. The i3 actually performs a little bit better in pure gaming tests, but it only has 4 cores and 8 threads. In 2026, I think that's a bit limiting. That's why we went with the Ryzen 555. It comes with 6 cores, 12 threads, and turbo speeds up to 4.2 GHz. This chip is perfect for budget gaming, and is also capable for 1080p editing, music production, and other light workstation tasks. Plus, being on the AM4 platform, you get a clear upgrade path if you want to step up to something like the Ryzen 7 5700X3D in the future. Another bonus, it comes with a decent stock cooler, the Wraith Stealth. It's simple, effective, and keeps the CPU cool without being ugly. Installing it is straightforward. Line up the CPU, lock it into the motherboard, and apply a little bit of thermal paste if needed. Then, secure the cooler with the screws and plug in the fan. Simple and clean. Motherboard selection. Next up, the Asus Prime B450MA, priced around $80. This board gives you 4 RAM slots, solid PCI expansion, and M.2 NVMe slot, and a reliable back panel. Best of all, it comes ready to run 500 series CPUs. No BIOS update required. Installation is just like any other board. Attach the standoffs in the case, screw it in, and make sure all the headers line up. Nothing fancy here, but it's reliable and solid for the budget build. For memory, the budget meta right now is 16 GB of RAM. That's plenty for games today, especially esports titles, and our motherboard has room to upgrade to 32 GB later if needed. Storage is equally simple. We're using a 512 GB SSD, which is just enough for your operating system, a few essential apps, and your favorite games. You could bump it up to 1 TB if you want, but 520 GB works fine for most budget setups. Installing SSD is quick, just slide it into the M.2 connector and screw it down. Done. Case and power supply. Now, for the case. We went with the Cooler Master Q300L, priced at about $36. This case is affordable, versatile, and has magnetic dust filters. It can sit vertically or horizontally, which is a nice touch. The downside? The side panel is acrylic, which scratches easier than tempered glass. But for our budget build, it does the job. The MSI Mag A550BN power supply handles all of our power needs. It's a 550-watt, 80-plus bronze unit, more than enough for this system. While it's non-modular, at this price point, it's expected. We just route the cables carefully for a clean look. Graphics card choice. With around $190 left in the budget, we have 2 main GPU options, AMD RX 6600 or Intel Arc A750. For this budget, we went with the Intel Arc A750, which features 8 GB of memory. Installing a GPU is straightforward, but requires a little bit of patience. Remove the backplate covers, slot the card into the PCIe connector, secure it with screws, and plug in the power. With that done, this system is essentially ready to go. Operating system and BIOS settings. For the operating system, we went with Windows 10. Installation is quick from a USB drive, and even if you run the free version with a watermark, it doesn't affect performance. Once installed, grab the chipset driver from AMD and the graphics drivers from Intel. Finally, head into the BIOS to enable XMP for your RAM to run at full speed and a resizable bar for maximum GPU performance. After that, we're ready for gaming tests. Before we jump into benchmarks, if you're enjoying this build guide, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the Tech Bowl for more budget PC builds, gaming tips, and tech guides. Your support really helps the channel grow. Gaming tests. Smooth transitions. Let's see how this $500 PC performs in real games. Marvel Rivals at 1080p, averaging 65 frames per second, 1% lows at 39. Smooth, fun, and comparable to Overwatch. Cyberpunk 2077 at 1080p high, 93 frames per second average, 1% lows, 62. With medium ray tracing, 59 frames per second average, 46 lows. Not bad for budget hardware. Valorant at 1080p high, insane, 308 frames per second average, 1% lows, 153. More than enough for competitive play. Elden Ring, max settings, 1080p. Solid 60 frame average, 1% lows, 55. Minecraft creative mode with Elytra, 233 frames per second average, 1% lows, 34. On the ground, 178 frames per second average, 1% lows, 88. For AAA titles like Borderlands 3 at Ultra 1080p, 89 frames per second average, 1% lows, 62. Dropping to high pushes, averaging frames per second to 104. Fortnite at 1080p performance mode, smooth gameplay around 121 frames per second average with some 1% dips. Finally, Black Myth Wukong, arguably the toughest game we tested. 1080p high, 67% resolution scaling, 71 frames per second average, 1% lows, 58. Even at native resolution, 58 frames per second average, 1% lows, 49. Overall, for a $500 system, these numbers are fantastic. Temperatures and upgrades. In terms of temps, the GPU usually hits around upper 50s to mid 70s Celsius, and the CPU sits around mid 60s to upper 70s. The exception is Borderlands 3, which spiked both into low 80s. Nothing dangerous, but adding a 120mm intake fan would improve the airflow and lower temps further. Other potential upgrades, a case with better airflow and a tempered glass panel, or maybe even a future GPU once prices stabilize. All in all, this $500 gaming PC is incredible value. You get a strong 1080p gaming performance, a solid upgrade path, and components that will last. There are compromises, sure, but for someone on a budget, this is one of the most well-balanced builds you can get right now. If you do anything differently, I want to hear it. Drop your build ideas in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next budget build or tech guide. Thanks for watching the Tech Bowl, and I'll see you in the next one.